Hey, today we'll review a book Attitude is Everything, Chapter 9. This is a great chapter, and the title for the chapter is Develop a Whatever It Takes Attitude. Whatever it takes attitude. Very powerful chapter. Like always, I will read his ideas, and after that I will share what I learned from that. So first thing that when he really wanted to really change his career path and really move from being working for IBM to really become a public speaker, and first thing what he did was speaking with his dad, and his dad was one of the people who really wanted to keep the same career for as long as possible. So what he did, he really asked Keith, the author, questions that really understand where he's coming from. So this is a conversation that he had with his dad. He said that dad asked him, "Let me ask you a few questions. Are you prepared to get a roommate? Whatever it takes, dad. Rent out the house and move into apartment. Whatever it takes, dad. Get a second job. Whatever it takes. Sell your car. Whatever it takes. Move move home with your mother. Dad, if I have to move back home, live in the basement, and sleep in a bunk bed, that's what I will do. I'm going to make it on my own because I know what I'm doing right now is what I'm supposed to do." This is a mindset that we're supposed to have, whatever it takes. If you will need to downsize, that means that you will need to take that. You will need to really be okay with that. Because when you think about really making things happen, is that willingness is one of the most important parts in life. Because a lot of people want to be rich, want to be wealthy, want to be successful. But what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to settle back onto? What is the worst case scenario? Because sometimes it will fall back. There are so many stories where successful people want to sleep in their cars just to make sure that they're able to pursue their goals, to pursue their dreams. Are you willing to sacrifice that? Are you willing to really see in other people that you're going backwards for a short period of time to make sure that you're able to really jump? Because a lot of times says that if you really want to jump, it's better to have solid ground, and really something's reaching that bottom is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. So again, are you willing to really not being afraid to really downsize your life, to really that you can upgrade your life? It's a very powerful lesson. Change is part of life, and risk is part of the change process. To deal with risk and change, you have to adopt whatever it takes attitude. So again, willingness, whatever it takes. That means I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make things happen. Bad attitudes can arise when we feel we aren't moving forward with our lives, often because we are resisting making a change or taking necessary risk. We're not moving forward a lot of times is because we just do not take anything that is risky, that is uncomfortable. And it says that we don't make any change. We resist to make a change. If we really want to move forward, we need to really make a change. We need to improve. And I think that every single person has some kind of resistance, but just the way how we deal with the resistance, that is the change that we need to really do. When you're pursuing your dreams, it's inevitable that you will experience doubts and fears. At some point, each of us will be faced with a major life change, an incident that alters our life in such a way that we are never quite the same. That means that I think that as is here, that every single person has doubts and fears, and that's okay. And sometimes something will happen in our life, not that we didn't have control over that. And something happens that's really, sometimes we have control over it, sometimes don't. But it's something that happens that we need to really reflect for a long, long time and really learn all those lessons. And it changes who we are and changes how we look into our life. And we need to really take advantage of those major life changes. It may hurt a little now, but in the long run, you will see the benefits of embracing change in your life. So it might hurt. It might hurt that you will embrace those changes and embrace the thing that happened to you. And that's okay. I think that's part okay, that accepting that you're feeling not okay at the moment. But knowing that you will be okay in the future, I think that is a beautiful part, knowing that now you're not okay, but you know that you will be okay in the future. So you are accepting your feelings right now, and you allow channel those emotions outside of your life. Because if you try to bottle them, you keep them. But if you allow them to go them out, of course, you allow them to walk away and then go away. It's up to you to stay flexible, to go with the flow. If you try to fight it, your attitude will suffer, and so will your performance. Again, that means that a lot of times when you think about our change, we need to go with the flow. We need to really move forward and take action, take risks, because a lot of times if we fight the change, of course, our attitude will suffer because we are not able to fight change. We'll never. We will lose this change. We will lose the game against change because life is changing. So you can change with it, even or change even faster than life changes, or you can really try to bog down, and of course that will reduce your performance and attitude at the same time. Adopt the attitude that change is to be expected, and you will be a lot better at dealing with it. It's very powerful. So that means when you really do something and you really enjoy it, that's probably one of the worst parts about change. Sometimes you do something that you love, you do that you are very good at, but life throws something at and you need to change. You need to change what you love to do to make it even better. And that sometimes is hard. But when you expect that you do something very, very good, you love what you're doing, but you really need to expect that something will need to change, even make it even better, improve. At that moment, when the change really comes, because you expect it, you are prepared to really handle it much, much, much better. We define the age. The age does not define us. I share that sometimes people say, like, oh, like my attitude is like, I'm too old for this, I'm too young for this. Again, we define the age, and the age does not define us. I define it that we really need to understand that age doesn't matter. What matters is what is inside of us. And sometimes when we have like 30 years old and even harder, we can be like 18. When somebody's 50 years old and still could be like 20. Like, I think that really is very important to have attitude that you're able to define yourself, not the age. Then there are two types of change: planned and unplanned. Planned changes are those that you choose in order to improve your life in some way. You take additional courses, you learn a new skill, you begin a fitness program. Since you make it happen, there is a still sense of that you have control of your life. Unplanned changes are those that are forced upon you by circumstances beyond your control. A flat tire, being downsized, a health problem, the death of a friend or a family member. These are all stressful changes that can throw you off balance. But you can control the attitude that you choose to take towards the change. That means that plan and plan, we're still able to control something. So if it's planned, you're able to have the control of everything. But if you do not plan that means at least you have control of your attitude. It doesn't matter what happened, but you still have control of your attitude. I was afraid of starting all over again until I changed my attitude. I could not change my life until I could see the positive of healthy living. I was doomed to my unhealthy status. That means that a lot of times we do not change because we are fearful. There's a lot of fear in our change. It's our attitude is fearful. But we start to see that we are doomed if we don't change, and we're able to start to visualize our potential healthy living. Of course, it's easier to really take action. Change can be for the better. Sometimes we just have to overcome our fear of it. Change can be for the better. Sometimes we just need to overcome the fear of it. This is a really powerful lesson. How do you respond to change? And there are 4 basic ways to respond to change. First, shift into neutral. Just do how you always used to do. Number 2 is adopt a negative attitude. Of course, that I don't want to really change. Adopt a counterproductive attitude and fight against it. And number 4 is adopt a positive attitude. I really improve and find it to see the opportunity. Understanding the process of change. Stage 1. Have I got what it takes? So you can't move ahead by holding on. You have to let it go. So that means that have I got what it takes? You need to understand that it doesn't matter you have it or not. You need to really move ahead by letting go all the things that is holding you back and really taking things happen. Stage 2 is how much it is going to hurt. This is a very, very important question. How much is going to hurt? You will feel ungrounded, a bit lost, and maybe even a little nostalgic for the way things used to be. You may feel as if you have just made a huge mistake. Hang on. That means that I have felt as well, like when you really make a change, sometimes because it feels unfamiliar, uncomfortable, it seems that you made a mistake because the previous, you didn't feel that. It didn't felt unfamiliar. It didn't felt uncomfortable. So that a lot of times we need to allow that change to settle down. And that new change will start to become comfortable. And you just need to hang on. I was afraid at first, but I realized that what is inside of me is greater than what is going around me. This is, again, this very, very powerful thing that what is inside of me is greater than what is going around me. So a lot of times don't allow our circumstances to control how we feel about ourselves, because inside of us, we feel that we are grounded and there is no movement, there's calmness, even though outside there is massive chaos. Focus on where are you going, not where you have been. It's very powerful. So that means we need to focus where we're going rather than where we've been. Stage 3, action produces results. A period of change calls for taking action, planning, and reflection. It's wise here to take things one at a time and not allow yourself to become overwhelmed. Because I guess a lot of times when a lot of circumstances going on around us, we need to understand that we need to be okay to really say that I will do only one thing at a time. I will focus on one thing at a time. And I think that that's when you do one thing at a time, you will never feel overwhelmed because you just need to focus on one thing. And I think that's a part of the change, to take action, plan, and reflect. So what of all those 5, 10 things that are going on, what I'm able to focus right now? And stage 4 is whatever it takes. Welcome to new you. At this point, you want to avoid settling into another comfort zone. So that means that whatever it takes, sometimes you move to another comfort zone and you need to do it again. So whatever it takes and move out of that new comfort zone. Then is 10 strategies for creating positive attitudes about change. Number 1, tap into the power of your subconscious. Take the opportunity to program your mind with a positive attitude about the ongoing change. Pause to reflect. When you look into the mirror, you see the person who can do the most to improve your life, change your attitude, elevate your standards, and overcome your limitations. That means when you pause and reflect, you understand that you are the person who can make the most influence in your life. And of course, that's a very good saying that when you think about who is responsible for life, look in the mirror and you will understand who is that person. Keep your long-term goals in mind. I believe that if you can see it in your mind, you can make it happen. Everything in life happens twice. First in your mind, second in your life. If you never thought about it, you will never have it. That's very, very important to have that long-term vision in your mind to make sure that you're able to transfer it into your life. Number 4 is avoid learned helplessness. Because if you don't act on life, it will act on you. If you don't find direction for your life, it will direct you. If you don't decide where you are going, life will take you to a place you probably never wanted to be. So that means that we're able to choose, we're able to take action, we're able to really decide where we want to go. And if we do not decide what is the target, we'll never hit the target. It's a very, very important lesson. Number 5 is maintain a balance. That's why it's important to maintain physical, mental, and spiritual balance. So it means it doesn't matter what's going around you, and your life could be imbalanced. It could be massive house in your life. Massive. But at the same time, you're able to really focus on maintaining physical, mental, and spiritual balance. And when you have those in balance, it doesn't matter what's going in your life. You still will have amazing attitude because you have at least your foundational life in order. Acknowledge change. You should not ignore change. Although ultimately, the only thing you can change is yourself. And sometimes that changes everything. Very powerful lesson. Convert threats into opportunities. When a change seems threatening, you can reframe it as an opportunity. Number 8, turn change into challenge. Challenges teach you something about yourself. So does change. Challenges force you out of your comfort zone. So does change. Challenges help you realize again what is most important to you. Change can do the same. Number 9, turn on the positive energy. When I feel potential negative change coming on, I react the same way I do when I'm developing a cold. I do everything I can to build up my natural resistance. Such a powerful lesson. I want you to repeat it one more time. When I feel a potential negative change coming on, I react the same way I do when I'm developing a cold. I do everything I can to build up my natural resistance. So, of course, if you are feeling that you are sick, you start drinking tea, eating lemon, onions, all the things natural things that could really elevate your immune system. So that means when you really have negative energy coming on, and I feel that you potentially lead to that, maybe you're able to watch seminars, motivational things, read a book, to really elevate your resistance, to make sure, speak with your loved ones, really to elevate your attitude and not allow that sickness of negativity come into your life. Our last one, number 10, is seek support from members of your A team. The people who truly care about you want you to lean on them and in difficult and challenging times, because then they know you will be there for them. It's very, very important, because relationship is give and take. So that means it's a win-win situation all the time. The next one, when you are open to losing something in order to gain something, you are ready to take risks. Very, very powerful. So that means that sometimes, every single time when you really take a risk, you understand that you could potentially lose something. But if you're not willing to lose anything, sometimes losing your authority, sometimes losing your brand is taking risk. And of course, sometimes it's losing your ego. And when you're willing to give up that, that's when you're able to take risks. Your willingness to take risk may well determine how rewarding and fulfilling your life turns out to be. Everything in life is based on risk. Even having relationships is risk, because there's so many bad things can happen in a relationship, in a business. Like, everything is risk. So how well you really take risks will determine how rewarding your life is. I truly believe that. Accept change as part of your life. Make wise decisions and take risks when they offer to improve the quality of your life. Take risks. That means that when you want to take risks, you need to ask, take risks when they offer to improve the quality of life. Of course, you will not take risks when that could destroy your life. And I think that sometimes people take risks even though that it could potentially destroy your life. For example, I don't know, it's taking risks with alcohol or drugs or anything. It's a taking risk as well. But there is no positive out of it. But when you really invest in starting a business, that is a massive positivity. Of course, and are saying that, will you marry me? That is a massive risk. So other person, significant other, will say no. But again, that will improve your life, quality of life. So celebrate yourself, who you are personally and who you would like to become. The last thing that I want to say that is that the choice is yours. Change is the essence of life. Embrace it. So that means when you have that whatever it takes mindset, you will embrace change and you will understand that you will make things happen, because it doesn't matter what comes into your way. You will make things happen. And you're not afraid to take risks, because you know that it doesn't matter what happens. You will keep moving forward. So I hope you choose to win. And this chapter 9 was really great. And I'm looking forward to read last chapter 10. Last chapter 10.